technology and also one of the exhibitors out in the Innovation Zone, Joe Hattrup. Joe?
The other thing that was of interest is you brought up a product, Capri Sun, and I'm not going to go into a long-winded history of fast tech and everything, but in the early years, we did a lot of the batching for Capri Sun and Kraft and Coca-Cola and a variety of things, and actually designed the software to do Capri Sun packaging. You know, a lot of that is it's commodity now, but it's pretty cool to see how far it's come. Packaging concepts and resealability, and you guys are doing some really good stuff. Let me spend one moment, some kudos and props to PMMI. Not to be too self-serving with Fast Technology Group, but we've been around for a long time in CPG. A lot of what you will see today, if you get a chance to come over to our booth, is the extension of many, many, many years and thousands of systems produced in the commercial print industry. Very high speed, very customized, very integrated, personalized messages, personalized products coming from 2 different parts of the U.S., all palletized that are coded, and have to bring them together optically to create a unified, synchronized end product that can be carton stacked and route sequence palletized. So there's a lot of background into going into what we're going to talk about today. And PMMI, just a final note on that, is they've been very instrumental in us transforming from commercial printing out into the CPG space in, number one, developing relationships, providing forums, trade shows, and the establishment of relevant business partners that allowed us to get to where we are today. If we didn't have the PMMI membership and relationship, I wouldn't be standing up here talking. So, what I'd like to talk about is emerging opportunities in shopper engagement. Now, those of you fortunate to come to last year's event, some excellent presentations, excellent content, but it totally, hugely focused on paying attention to digital, paying attention to mobile, and integrating those into your product plans and store strategies, because not only is it coming hard and fast, it's here. You better figure out how to coexist and make a difference and raise the bar for your own brands and products. So if that's a two-legged stool of value add, we're here to talk about adding that third leg to the stool, and that is what's been going on the packaging front, an innovation that's practical, ready to deploy, and suitable for selected brands and packaging types progressively into the mainstream. There are a lot of options. There are a lot of approaches out there for the full shopping experience, pre-shop, post-shop. And a lot of what you see out there, you'll see geofencing, you'll see aisle mapping, aisle and route mapping, you'll see digital loyalty, and it covers really the whole gamut. And how you pick and choose and focus is primarily a function of several areas. First is, what's the technology of choice for the product or the SKU or the category or what you're trying to achieve? How solidly can you back it? Do you have the infrastructure, the financial backing to really build it out and make a difference in a very fickle, trendy environment? Third is, how creative and how passionate are the stakeholders and the drivers for the technology or the shopper engagement strategy of choice? And the fourth one that I'm going to add is, I should have had it on the slide, but it's probably one of the most important. That's the time frame. Some of this stuff is very, very, very short shelf life. And if you can get in, make a difference quickly, you can build on it, extend, and take yourself to new places. But if you spin your wheels, you waste your time on too much due diligence and research, it's already gone, and there's something twice as good coming out that's taking its place. So, fast tech, what have we done? Well, we've taken fundamentals like that and pretty much distilled and boiled it down into perhaps 4 of the key elements of survival and growth in a multi-channel retailer environment. And we followed along the lines of Rockfish, digital agency out of Bentonville, one of our key business partners. And they boiled it down to 4 key elements. You've got to pay attention to localization. And I'll show you an example of where you see that through and through. Personalization, take a mundane, take a vanilla flavored shopping experience and make it as personal as you can, which then to go along with that, you got to talk to the shopper. You can't talk down to the shopper. It's got to be an ongoing dialogue as best you can through the whole gamut of pre-shop, shop, even after the fact. When it gets home and it's sitting on the kitchen table, perhaps the package can keep that dialogue going through some medium, some way, shape, or form. And finally, convenience. I hate to put that one last because everybody's busy. If you can't get in and out of the store as efficiently as you can with the products you want, that fit your family's needs, save steps, if it's contest, don't make me enter a 12-digit alphanumeric code that's on the inside of the box. Make it easy. One click, get me in, get me out, I'm on board, well, maybe I care. I'm a baby boomer, I'll tell you, I will not scale a 12-digit code to get involved in anything. So just to illustrate the point. So, localization, it's all around us. It's in multimedia plays everywhere. Local means fresh. Fresh implies quality. And you'll see it pretty much everywhere. Personalization. Take a look at the personalization front. This is one of my favorites. Coca-Cola, putting random first names on bottles. Well, not a real heavy, sophisticated play there, but what they did pay attention to in a very, very detailed way is how to put it on pack, how to put it on bottle. It is high resolution, digitally printed graphics, and it's made a difference. From all reports that we've heard, I can't really quote any hard numbers, but the sales lift just from putting first names on bottles of Coke has made a pretty solid difference. Just a good baseline of where it's headed. Taking a look at the, at the offer front, the store experience, navigating through the aisle using mobile tools, for offers or product content, and enhancing the whole shopping experience is just another example of the extension of personalization of the whole store and shopping experience. Not to pick on Kellogg's, but I'm going to use them as a couple of examples. Cross-merchandising, co-branding is very healthy, it's alive and growing. Maybe it's a static precursor to some of the innovation we're going to talk about today. I like this one because it's a healthy play on cereal, tied out to a semi-healthy cough drink. And oh, by the way, channeled back to Target as the only source theoretically to get it. So much more you can do with it. I mean, there are paper coupons dropped in the box for discounts on product and the like. But digitize it, start to point to store and cross-merge back in a localized way. Big opportunities. We can show it at the booth if you get a chance to come over. And you can go too far. And you could get very, very crowded very quickly. This one I like because they have squeezed everything but the kitchen sink into this deal and hit every angle and every square millimeter of the package to try and gain attention across every front. It's a good gig, but you run the risk of overexposure to one particular medium. It gets confusing. You can create shopper indifference, and it's a limited engagement value there. What's going on the tech side in line with this? Well, there are new emerging technologies every day at the store and POS level in many forms of evaluation. Several jump on board, it's a flash in the pan, and realize maybe it kind of does the same thing that previous technology we evaluated did. Now, one, I'd like to mention, these guys are exhibiting at the show. Digimarc has come a long way. They came out of print to a degree. They have done some tremendous stuff with invisible on-pack point of sale coding, and then extended it down to the package level. Very, very good, and not at all simply a push experience. You need to qualify them very well. Well, problem points. Pushback as a result of delivering offers and engagement only via digital and at the store level. And you can see it. I mean, there are breaches, there's incursions, there are privacy issues. You know, not only at the store level, but nationally, you can see things happening in China, Russia, and wherever. It's created a real sensitivity. And there's a book, it's about a year old, but if you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend it to give you very, very, very good perspective on where things are headed. It's The Age of Context by Scoble in Israel. Now, when you read it, it's going to be a heavy, heavy Google read. And they're going to want you to go buy Google Glass at the end of it, because Google Glass is the answer to all things. It's got a place, it's cool, but a very good read. So what does this mean? Are some of the elements and things we've talked about, are they overlapping? Are they at the noise level to a degree? Maybe a few are. But how do we bring it together into a cohesive business model? What's the consolidation element or elements that are out there that are practical and can make sense to turn it into a viable business model? Well, we know we have one answer. That's an extension of tried and true over many years and millions of dollars of R&D adapted to CPG. And that, excuse me, that is a standard that we call PACKprint. So PACKprint is basically scannable serialization on pack. Every single product made, we can do trillions and trillions of products with scannable license plates, DNA identifiers, never be repeated, and then organize those by product category, by manufacturer, by retailer, to turn into some serious products. So this is a little bit busy, but it's got a lot of meat to it. You know, the PACKprint standard and scannable serialization, well, now we can start to plug gaps. Maybe that are, you know, things that are established and concepts established at the store level that really don't quite get there. Well, we can take the package, extend it, bring it home, and turn it into something meaningful. It's a way to turn and tide and put shopper engagement back on her time and terms. Engage at the level you want to on your own time. And the four final bullets, I'll just read those. We've got a number of very sophisticated marketing and retail weapons that we can show that can be deployed in any degree. It can certainly align with your current plans, but just an extension of or an enhancement to what you're doing at the store level digitally. There are a suite of mobile apps and value-add digital tools to really make a difference on that front. And finally, we've got the technical reach and bandwidth and scale to make it adaptable to corrugate, to pack, film, base packaging, labeling, whatever it takes per SKU for the most sensitive products. So really, what does PACKprint look like? It's a license plate on pack. Excuse me, I hit the moment. Think of it as a license plate on pack that acts as a conduit, a serial number with a very micro-targeted URL that takes you to a happy place. And the happy place is a white space. It's a white space of build-out. Whatever you need or want that ties out to your package where you think you can make a difference in a modular build-out fashion can be added to PACKprint. So that data record is a wealth of personalized information that stays with it cradle to grave. So again, how does scannable serialization dovetail or overlay into what you're doing right now, just think of it as an extension of, a gap filler, or a transformational tool. We're either extending what you're already doing, making, plugging a gap where maybe you didn't really get the point across as effectively as you want, or transformationally turn it into a new shopping habit where that seal of approval, that on pack, brings it all together. That's really our mission right there. Use our core competencies to build shopper trust and integrate with push where we can. And the three key buzzwords that form the baseline for a lot of our technical innovation are trust, engagement, convenience. If we're making a difference, moving the chains on those three fronts, hopefully, we're doing a good thing. And really, it's coined from farm to shelf to pantry, utilizing the package but integrated in with our digital strategy. Three quick examples. On the trust side is these slides over here are a little washed out, but easily through Facebook, log in, through cell phone entry, log in through email address login. Well, now we can start to talk to you. If there's ever a recall, we're not going to recall across wide swaths of recall initiatives. We can start to target households and individuals, assuming there's been a registration, and pick each product, theoretically, if it gets that granular, and start to talk to the shopper on trust terms. My product journey, we can map entire product journeys over time as the PACKprint or scalable serialization standard gets built out. And certainly pack the data record with whatever information can make a difference in building shopper confidence and trust in that particular situation and for a particular retailer. Engagement, this is one of my favorites, and have to demonstrate this one at the booth, but we can take branded product, cartons, pallets, individual products, and we can program those entire groups to a particular retailer, and from that point forward, generate things like this. This is a retailer-specific, personalized, time-sensitive offer for a bakery product. And as it starts to near expiration, since we already know when the product was made, we know born on date, we know expiration date, now we can start to play games with the values of the couponing and the offers, depending on the motivation level and how quickly it needs to turn. Just one example. There are many, but I just wanted to pick one out that hopefully would stick with you and resonate. For the convenience side, once we get registered with a package, with a purchase, can either be done through the grocery list, not right now, but there's a lot of heavy R&D and lifting into going into taking personalization, package specific, and tie it out to grocery list, allow automatic registration so that you can add the grocery list, you can do it on demand, you can do it upon expirations and certainly on recalls, and tie out to a number of items. And then combinationally, I like this one very well. I showed login variety of methodology here. Well, this one's pretty cool. This is taking perhaps a branded product. Now we're doing cross-merge targeted offers at any point in the shopping experience, even at home, to add more to the shopping basket or into the next trip for brand, private label, or anything of the sort. So use the package to start to pull through more. It's suitable for either private label or branded. I think I've covered most of that already. And back to the shopper engagement Wheel of Fortune 2.0. Well, now integrating mobile, digital, and packaging should offer up some game-changing opportunity if we're doing it.